Okay, so very good morning to everybody in this room. This is Fahim Ansari, your lead instructor for your CTP, and with me is your mentor, Swapnil. So today is 8th of May 2020, and we are into the Certified Trading Professional session number 12. Okay, curve and trend analysis. Curve trend analysis we have already done. We have to do curve analysis today, okay, which is a very important part of your curriculum. So before starting the session, guys, a very honest feedback and a very general question to you is that uh, is everything in the session going okay? Are you following it, or I am just deviating from the topic? Do you think I'm deviating from the topic? Okay, so that's what I wanted, an honest feedback. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so uh, I have received a mail that I am deviating from the topic. Okay, so you need to understand that there are around 80 people in the room, and there are some problem with some people do not have a trade tiger. So I have to go to the trading view to explain them. Okay, so just uh, this will be. Uh, I have to, go to the trading view and make them understand also. So please understand that. Okay. Anyways, uh, question answer. We are having question answer. Already we are having so much question answers. Okay, and don't worry. Today we will join the jigsaw puzzles. What we have till now been doing. Okay. So okay. So one understand that today what we are going to do is we are going to bring the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. Again, see that how we are going to apply. So there was a question that how are we going to apply. So today you are going to get the answers for that. Whatever we were doing, it was bits and parts, each and everything. So now I hope that is clear what we have done. Yes, Rosario, I understand that. Okay. Uh, does demand and supply zone have to be in daily ATR? The daily ATR is the range. Okay, so if it's beyond the range, then you might not get the same trade on that day. The demand zone and the supply zone on that day. So that's the concept. Okay, so yesterday we started with entry types, exit rules, entry types and exit rules. So we have in Ignite we have three types of entry. One is your proximal entry. Okay, one is your proximal entry. This is also called as a type 1 entry. So in proximal entry, we'll take the entry at the proximal line. Okay, or just below the proximal line for supply zone and just above the proximal line for your demand zone. Okay, then is your zonal entry. So when I come to entry, as the name suggests, zone entry will be inside the zone, anywhere inside the zone. Now, to be specific, to be mechanical, it should be 50% inside the zone. Okay. So the third type of entry is called as the confirmation entry. So confirmation entry, confirmation entry is an entry. Now, please, guys, hold on. When I'm just explaining something, hold on to your questions. Okay. When I'm explaining something, please, please don't stop me. or don't ask question. When my explanation is finished, you can answer, you can just get to your questions. So confirmation entry is when you do not have to take your entry at the proximal line when the price is entering the proximal line or hitting the proximal line. Neither you have to take your entry inside the zone. You have to take your entry when the price is coming out of the zone, and that too once one candle close inside the zone and the second or the third or the fourth candle coming outside of the zone. So that is where you need to take your entry on. We did advantages and disadvantages of the same. So advantages for type 1 is, or proximal entry is, you may get fill in most of the trades, but the risk will be more. Similarly for entry type 2, the risk is the least, but again you can just miss your trade as far as your type 1 trade and type 1 entry is concerned, or proximal entry is concerned. Third type of entry, it's more of a confirmation entry, so you might miss a lot of trades in confirmation entry, but you get a feel of a sense of confirmation. Yes, now the buyers are coming, and it's a bit safe as far as type 1 and type 2 is concerned. Okay, now the greatest disadvantage of this type 3 entry is that you need to be in front of your PC to place these entries. You cannot place your as a set and forget it trader. Okay, so this is what we did. Then we did that how to place a stop loss in case of your daily and hourly income trade. So in daily and hourly income trade, your stop loss will be 2% of your daily ATR. Now, what is daily ATR? Daily ATR is the average true range of it's the average price movement of that stock in a day. So if the daily ATR of a stock is 5, so, and if it opens at 100, it can either move to 105 to the upside, or it can move to 95, or it will be within that range. Okay, so we have a tool here in Trade Tiger, daily ATR tool. So daily ATR, there is just beside the daily ATR, it's 2% and 10%. So whenever you are placing your stop loss for your daily and hourly income trade, it will always be 2% of daily ATR. So it's the it's the it's the minimum. It's the minimum that you can place your stop loss on. It can be greater than 2%, but it will never be less than 2% in your daily and hourly income trade. Okay, so that's the threshold. 2%. 2% is the minimum. Okay, you can have a stop loss a little bit greater than 2% also. Okay, so 2% you apply that daily ATR on double click on the stop loss line and click on 2% and just press yes. So it automatically the line will be adjusted 2%. Okay, so for those who have not got the daily ATR, you have to subtract subtract the daily ATR, the 2% daily ATR value from the distal line of the demand zone. Okay, similarly, in case of a supply zone, you have to add 2% to that distal line so that you can get the value. If you don't have the daily ATR tool, you can use the ATR tool which is available in Trade Tiger. For ATR tool, you have to go on the daily chart and look on the previous candle. Okay, that if you are looking for a ATR for today, then you have to look at Thursday's candle, yesterday's candle. Okay, so this we done. Then we started with targets. Then we did with targets. So target will be always, at least it should be looking that your target should be at least 3:1. 3:1 on the trade. So 3:1 on the trade is that at least you should be getting the reward. You are risking 1 rupees and you are getting 3 rupees for that one. Okay, 3 rupees for that 1 rupee. Okay, so we saw that whenever we place a trade on the demand zone, where could the prices go up to? It could go up to the next best supply zone. And if you are placing a trade in a supply zone, it could come to the next best demand zone. So that are called as opposing level of demand and opposing level of supply. Now remember one thing, that opposing level of demand and supply is to book your profit. Okay, not to take your trade on, not to take your new trade on. Okay, Always remember, opposing level of demand and supplies are for your are for booking your profits. Okay, so this is all what we done with what we did, and we had if the opposing level of demand and supply are too far away from the demand or the supply that you're taking a trade on, then there is a mechanical target of 2:1. You can cover your trade at 2:1. Okay, if you don't have the patience to hold that till 6:1 or 7:1, okay, then you can hold out that you can just cover up at 2:1 for your daily and hourly income trade, and for your weekly and monthly income trade you can cover at 3:1 also. If you want, you can cover your monthly income trade, weekly income trade at 2:1 as it at also. Okay, so this is what we did yesterday. Okay, so it's already 15 minutes past. So let's start with curve, and if there is any difficulties, will look at the end. Aggressive means that, Pradeep, to answer your question, that it can just break your demand zones or supply zones. Yes. So the if the odds and answer score is 7, then we will take a proximal entry or a type 1 entry. If the odds and answer score is 6, then we are going to take either a confirmation entry or a zonal entry, whatever you feel like or whatever is best suitable to you. No, score 5, we will not take an entry. If it's lesser 6, then no entry on a trade. We have to skip that trade. Okay, so let us start with it. Curve, important session today. So let's start. So today what you're going to learn is core strategy, curve, and trend analysis. Trend analysis we've already completed before. So now, thank you, Madhav. Koteshwara, your signal is weak. Okay, your signal is weak. So let us look at this. What is curve? So with curve, what will you identify is whether you want to be a buyer or seller as per curve analysis. Okay, so curve will define whether you will be a buyer or seller as per curve analysis. Okay, so let us see how we can do this. Now, curve analysis helps us to know when to be in bullish or bearish mode, since when price has moved too far up, it is no time to be a buyer any longer, and when price has moved too far down, it is not smart to be a seller anymore. Okay, curve analysis combined with the odds and answer scoring methodology dictates the smarter action to be taken, buying or selling, and only then we focus on supply and demand zones to time the entries and exits of our trades. Okay, so in short, what is curve analysis is, in curve analysis also, what will you do is you will mark your demand zones and supply zones on the higher time frame. Okay, you will mark your curve analysis, you will mark your demand zone and supply zones on the curve on the higher time frame. Okay, on the higher time frame. Now what this demand zone and supply zone is not to take your entry, but when you mark your demand zone and supply zones on the higher time frame, on the curve time frame, that will decide whether you will be a buyer or seller of that stock. Okay, and the zone marking that we do on the lower time frame, that will decide your entry, stop loss, and target. But your curve analysis, the demand zones that mark on your higher time frame for your curve analysis, will decide whether you want to be a buyer or a seller. Okay, whether you want to be a buyer or a seller. Now read this. Curve analysis helps us to know when to be in bullish and bearish mode. So that's what I told you. So curve analysis, when you draw your demand zone and supply zones on the curve time frame, it will tell you whether you want to be a buyer of that stock or seller of the stock, because That's logic, right? When price has moved too far up, when it has gone to a retail pricing area, is it smart to be a buyer? Friends, is it smart to be a buyer when the price has moved into a retail pricing area? Similarly, when the price has moved too far down, is it smart to be a seller anymore? No, right? So now let me just ask you something over here. Let me go to a paint over here. Zone. Now, my question to you is that which has the high probability of working out? Is it the 75-minute supply zone or a 5-minute demand zone? Think again, guys. This is a 75-minute supply zone. This is a 75-minute supply zone. It is hitting the 75-minute supply zone and coming here. So is it the 75-minute supply zone has the high probability of working or 5-minute demand zone? When it's coming from a 75-minute supply zone, it's having a lot of selling power with this. So will the 5-minute demand zone work or the 75-minute supply zone will work? The 75-minute supply zone will easily able to break this 5-minute demand zone. So that is what that statement is telling you. When the price has moved too far up, it's not a good time to be a buyer anymore. Similarly, when the price comes down over here, okay? Similarly, when the price comes down over here and starts to move up, which has a high probability of working, is the 75-minute demand zone has the high probability of working, or the 5-minute supply zone has a working? 5-minute supply zone has the high probability of working. Yes, it's a 75-minute demand zone, because when the price is coming to a higher time frame demand zone, it is carrying a lot of buying orders with this, so it can easily break this. Okay, it can easily break this over here. It can easily break this over here. Now, read this statement again. Curve analysis helps us to know when to be in bullish or bearish mode, since when price has moved too far up, it is no time to be a buyer any longer, and when price has moved too far down, it is not smart to be a seller anymore. So by the way, this is your, if you see here, this is your wholesale pricing area, right? So will you sell in a wholesale pricing area or will you buy in a wholesale pricing area? Similarly, when you are here, you will buy in an retail pricing area or you will sell in a retail pricing area? You will sell, right? You will sell. So that's the answer. So the more closer to your higher time frame demand, the more closer you are to a higher time frame demand, the more you will be a buyer. The more you are to a higher time frame supply, you will be more of a seller. TZ, what is TZ? This is just a pictorial representation, Prateep. You can definitely have, this has already now, this was a demand zone, it has not taken off. Okay, this was a demand zone over here. Now when the price is coming inside this, there could be an opposing level of supply or not. You tell me that. So this was a supply zone or not? Okay, this was a supply zone, right? This was a supply zone, right? This is a demand zone. So this was also a demand zone. This is also a zone right now. Okay, so it's above. So, but this has already taken off. You will understand that. So let's go here back to the slide and do this. So a supply, now this is the definition of freshness. Now everybody know what is a fresh zone. Okay, a supply demand zone that has not been touched nor pierced since the original zone was created. So this is your fresh zone. The price has not entered the zone. This is your tested zone or not a fresh zone. The price has tested this and come down. And this is your violated zone because the price has already violated this supply. Okay. Now, curve analysis implies the use of charts where we use larger time frames to identify fresh levels of supply and demand. So what we will do in curve analysis, we will identify fresh levels of supply and demand on the higher time frame. Okay. Now we assess how close or far our entries are from these larger time frame supply and demand zones. And then the closer we are to the supply zone, that means the higher time frame supply zone, the more we want to become sellers. The closer we are to this demand zones, the more we want to become buyers. Okay, so understand one thing. Then whenever your supply zone is closer to your higher time frame supply, that is the time you will try to sell. And whenever your demand zone, lower time frame demand zone, is closer to your higher time frame demand zone, that is the time when we will try to buy. Just understand one thing, that if you are closer to a higher time frame supply, we will not be a buyer, and if you are closer to a higher time frame demand zone, we will not be a seller. Okay, so curve analysis, we will mark our fresh levels of demand and supplies on the higher time frame, that is your curve time frame. And this demand and supply, what will this do? What will this do? This demand and supply, what we have marked on the higher time frame, will decide whether we want to be a buyer or seller of that stock. Okay, when you are closer to your higher time frame demand, let's suppose that Pradeep, you are looking for a hourly income trade, okay, and you are closer to your 70, then the price is closer to a 75-minute demand. That is the time when you will look to be a buyer, not a seller. Similarly, when you are closer to your higher time frame supply, 75-minute supply, that is the time you look to be more of a seller. Okay, more of a seller. Whenever you are closer to your higher time frame supply, you will be more of a seller. Whenever you are closer to your higher time frame demand, you will be more of a buyer. Yes, Venkatesh. But there is a method how to go about it. Okay, just understand one thing. Just understand one thing, that if you are closer, if you are going for, let's suppose you are going for a daily income trade, and right now the price is to your higher time frame supply, to your higher time frame supply, so you will not be a buyer anymore because you are into a retail pricing area. Similarly, when the price is closer to your higher time frame demand, that is your daily demand zone, you will not try to be a seller anymore because you are into the wholesale pricing area. Now what will decide how closer or how far you are from the higher time frame demand zone? Let us see that. So the definition, understanding how high or low our entries are. So steps to identify the curve. Okay, steps to identify the curve. So going from right to left, identify the nearest quality higher time frame supply zone. Okay, now there's an asterisk mark over here. Now the asterisk says that you need to use the 3-step zoning process. Now can you tell me what is the 3-step zoning process? Can jump quickly, can somebody tell me what is the 3-step zoning process? That is not the three-step zoning process like in base. You have to start from the current market price without cutting through candles, look left and down for your demand zone, look left and up for your supply zone without cutting through candles until you find origin of a strong rally in price for your demand zone and a strong drop in the price for your supply zone. Then using the base leg technique, you extend the proximal and distal line and extend them forward. Draw the proximal distal line and extend them forward. That is your three-step zoning process. It's neither strength, neither leg in, neither base, neither leg. This is the three-step process. Okay, yeah, you can say that with those three-step process, you will get your leg in, base and leg out. You will get a zone. Okay. The second thing is identify the nearest quality higher time frame demand zone and divide the range defined by the proximal lines of the supply and demand zones into three equal sections. Okay. Now, let's do this on a chart. Let's do this on a chart so that you just get acquainted to this. Let me go to this. So now let's mark a demand and a supply on Hind Petro. This is the daily chart. So if I am marking my curve or if my higher time frame is daily, then which is the style of trading I am trying to look for? It's a daily income trade. How can that be an hourly income trade? How can that be a weekly income trade? Guys, you are not familiar with the time frame. Please do the time frame properly. So this is the current market price. I'll start from the current market price. Can I mark this as my supply zone like this? No. Why? Why? No. The answer is why I cannot mark this as very good, Madhuri, because this is the current candle. Okay, this is not yet closed, so you cannot mark this supply zone. So I have to go above and mark this as my supply zone. Rally based, and this is your drop. Okay, this is your drop. This is a gap down candle. This is a gap down candle. It's a basing candle, but because of this gap down, it has become a drop. It has become a red leg candle over here. Okay, and again, if I go down over here, that's your demand, right? Clear? Clear? The demand and supply is clear for a higher time frame. Everybody? Yeah. Now you need to divide this. So what's the problem? You need to have your demand and supply zone very close to your current market price. That's what we have been teaching till now. That's what we have been doing till now. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use where is 184 demand zone? No, there is no demand zone. Why is there a demand zone here? This is a basing candle. So how can this be a demand zone? How can this be a demand zone? Okay. So this is a retracement tool that I'm using. This is a retracement tool that I'm using. So retracement tool is used to divide curve into three parts. So am I using this over here and I'll go here and use this. So can you see it's divided into three sections now? Okay, now just go here to settings. Okay, settings. There is something called as retracement over here. Okay, retracement over here. Find retracement in Trade Tiger. Okay, now there may be lots of value over here. So you have to delete those values. You have to delete those values and you have to put only this 4 values: 0, 33.33, 66.66 and 100. Well, that's not Fibonacci. That's something else. Fibonacci is here. This is retracement. Okay, this is retracement. So how to add or delete? Click on this. If you want to delete this, click on this and delete. Click on this and delete this. Okay, now you cannot delete this because you should have a minimum 2 items over here. Okay, now if I want to add, let's suppose I want to add 33.33. So I'll press add over here and 33.33. Press OK. So that's your 33.33. Okay, then again I'll press add and I'll press 66.66. Okay, because we want to divide it into 3 sections. 3 sections, that's why we are using this. Thank you, Swapnil. Okay, now it's done. And use this, just use this over here. You can use the snap to price. No, don't use snap to price. Okay, don't use snap to price. Just click on this show price. Okay, show price. Do not click on snap to price. Do not click on show percentage. Now, one thing that you need to remember, that if your background is white, then use a dark color retracement. If your background is white and you are using a white color retracement, you will not see that retracement. It will come on the chart, but you will not be able to see that. Okay, so use this black color retracement. If you are using a lighter background, if you are using a darker background, then use lighter color for this. Okay, and press save. Okay, press save. So now you can just use this and divide. So how to use this? Go here. There is something like a centipede over here. Centipede. Hindi, I think it's called Kankhajura. So centipede over here. So you just click on this retracement line, and from the proximal line of the supply to the proximal line of demand, or from the proximal line of demand to the proximal line of supply, just drag your mouse, come here to the proximal line of demand and just leave it. So now your curve is divided into 3 sections. Okay, now your curve is divided into 3 sections. Till here it's clear. Is this clear till here? Okay, now let's go here and write, this is high of the curve or retail pricing area. Okay, retail pricing area. Just copy this. Go here, right. This is low of the curve, low of the curve or wholesale pricing area. Okay, and this is right equilibrium over here. Equilibrium, or you can say middle of the curve. Okay. So that's your equilibrium or fair pricing area. Okay. So what do you do when the price is in the low of the curve or wholesale pricing area? What will you be more? What will you try to do more here in this area? Buyer, right? Similarly, when you are in the high of the curve or retail pricing area, what will you do more? You will try to be more of a seller. So I hope this is clear. That's good. Now let's come here and do this. Okay, so we have finished here till here, and for trend analysis we have done. So let's quickly come to this decision matrix now. So now does the wholesale, so that's the full wholesale pricing area. Okay, hold on, Madhuri, your question. Now hold on to your question. Okay, so you will be clear. Don't worry about that. So now what action to be taken by us? So now we will combine curve, zone, and trend and see what action needs to be taken and when to take it. So let us see. So first, what is the slide telling you? You first set the curve. So we have set the curve. We have set the curve. Now second it's telling you is you go on a lower time frame and identify your zones. This is what the slide is telling you. Okay, but we will make a change over here. Okay, what will we first do is we will first go to the third step. We will make this as our second step. We will check trend first and then we will go to the lower time frame to identify zones. Okay, so we will first check trend and then we'll go to the lower time frame to identify zones. Now once these three steps are concerned, or once these three steps are done, this is the decision matrix what you need to follow. Okay, so now I'll read to you the decision matrix. Just see if it makes sense to you. Okay, you mark the curve, you saw the trend, and you marked a supply zone on the lower time frame. Okay, so if your lower time frame zone, that is supply, is closer or it's in the higher time frame, closer to your higher time frame supply zone, it's in the retail pricing area or on the high of the curve, then you can go short. Okay, if you have a lower time frame supply zone closer to your higher time frame supply and the trend is sideways, then you can go short. So you can go short only in two conditions: when you are closer to your higher time frame supply and the trend is downtrend and sideways, downtrend or sideways. You cannot go short. You cannot go short when the trend is up. Okay, even if you are closer to your higher time frame supply, that is covered in advanced courses. How to take a short in the eye of the curve when the trend is up. Okay, when the trend is up. Similarly, these have nothing to do right now, no action. Okay, similarly, when can you go long? You can go long in the lower time frame demand zone when the trend on the intermediate time frame is either sideways or up. Okay, remember my sentence. You can go long on a lower time frame demand zone when your trend on the intermediate time frame is sideways or uptrend. Okay, I'll again repeat the statement. You can go long on the lower time frame demand zone when it is low on the curve only when the trend on the intermediate time frame is sideways or uptrend. Okay, similarly, you can go short only in the equilibrium when the trend on the intermediate time frame is a downtrend. Similarly, you can go long only in the equilibrium when the lower time frame zone is in the equilibrium and your intermediate time frame trend is up. So, what about the decision matrix? Have you had a good breakfast today? Confusing? Don't worry. I'm there with you. I will make it easier for you. Okay? I will make it easier for you. I will make it easier for you. दिमाग की दही हो गई, दिमाग का फालूदा हो गया. Okay, चलो. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's do here. Let's go here. Even if I Harish explain on the chart, you will not understand right now. Let me make it easier for you. Okay? Setting curve means marking your higher time frame demand zone and dividing into 3 sections. Okay? So that's why Rohit, to answer your question, that's why we mark a demand zone which is closer to our current market price. Okay, if you mark your demand zones and supply zones very far away from the current market price, so by the time you get your entries, that trend will change. Okay? So now, let me write something over here. Short only when the trend on intermediate time frame, ITF's intermediate time frame is down or sideways. Can't go short when the trend on intermediate time frame is up. Okay, so now is this getting clear? The picture is getting clear. From 195.46 to 220, you can only go short. You cannot take a long in the high of the curve or a retail pricing area. You can only go short from this 194.46 to 220. Okay, but when will you go short? When will you go short? When the trend on intermediate time frame is down or sideways. Can't go short when the trend on intermediate time frame is up. Understood? Understood this? Any doubts in this? See, Rajendra, what can now only let Rajendra answer. Okay, nobody else should answer because he has some doubts. What will you do when you are closer to a higher time frame supply or you are into the retail pricing area? Will you buy or will you sell? Sell. So buying is not encouraged in the retail pricing area or the high of the curve or when you are closer to a higher time frame supply. That is understood. Now you know that you cannot go long. You can only go short. But when can you go short? You can go short only when the trend on the intermediate time frame is down or sideways. Okay? When the trend on the intermediate time frame is down or sideways. Can't go short when the trend on the intermediate time frame is up. Okay, even you can't go short when the trend on intermediate time frame is up. That's how you, the full process along of analyzing the trend. You cannot put your trend on the higher time frame. You cannot check. That's what I was very clear, Madhuri, when I told you about trend. You cannot look at your trend on any other time frame other than your intermediate time frame. Neither on a higher time frame, neither on your lower time frame. Please don't get confused. The concept should be very clear. Hold on, Pradeep. I'll tell you. First, understand what you need to do on the each side of the pricing area. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Only when the trend on the intermediate time frame is up or sideways. Why does this happen? Okay, so law of the curve. See, you have to ask yourself a question. You have to ask yourself a question. Okay, now Aital, you are becoming impatient. Okay, just hold on to your questions. So now what you need to do is, on the law of the curve, you ask yourself a question: what will I do on the law of the curve? So what is the answer that you will get? That I will buy in the law of the curve or wholesale pricing area. But when will I buy? When will I buy? Ask another question to yourself. When will I buy? When will I buy? When will I buy? I will buy when the trend is on the intermediate trend, intermediate time frame is up. I've just written, so it's correct. Is up or sideways. Okay. So now, is this making sense to you? Is this making sense to you? Is there anybody who has not understood this? First, understand what is the process, what we need to do on each of this area. And then we will have a practical example here, guys. This is a practical example only one. So where do you check your trend on Neha? Neha, please see my session on trend. Okay, please see my session on trend. Now, look, Lakshmi, don't go ahead. I'll tell you, because this is where people get confused. People get confused over here. Okay, and I'll tell you what the confusion is. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. First, let me cover this. Now, let's see what can we do in equilibrium. Okay. So I'll write here. Go long only when the trend is and short only when the trend is down. Okay, so in the equilibrium or fair pricing area, you have to join the trend. You have to follow the trend. If the trend on the intermediate time frame is up, you can go long. If the trend on the intermediate time frame is down, you can go only short. You cannot go long. Okay, doing nothing on sideways trend. Whenever the trend, whenever the lower time frame zone is in the equilibrium and your trend is sideways, don't do anything. Okay, and in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, what will I will advise you is take your trade only in this area and in this area. And one thing remember, from 195.46 to 220 is the high of the curve. Huh? Don't think it's still 208. The high of the curve area is from 195.46 to 220. Similarly, the low area, the low of the curve or wholesale pricing area is from this 182.72 to 164.30, not 170.0. Okay, so now is this clear? Is this clear? I'll write here a note. Okay. Just take a screenshot of this, guys. I want all of you to take a screenshot of this. Just take a screenshot of this. So in the high of the curve or retail pricing area, you can only go short. That is one concept that you should know. But when can you go short? Okay, when can you go short? You can go short only when the trend on intermediate time frame is down or sideways. Similarly, when the zone on the lower time frame is in the low of the curve or the wholesale pricing area, long only when the trend on intermediate time frame is up or sideways. Can't go long when the trend on intermediate time frame is down. So when you are in equilibrium or fair pricing area, go long only when the trend is up and short only when the trend is down. Okay, you cannot go long when the trend is down. You cannot go short when the trend is up in equilibrium in equilibrium area also. And don't do any equilibrium when the trend is sideways. Now go and read this decision matrix. Now you will understand this decision matrix. Okay, so high on the curve, lower time frame supply, downtrend, said the trend is downtrend or sideways, you can short. Okay. Similarly, the demand zone of the lower time frame is low on the curve or the wholesale pricing area. You can go long only when the trend on the intermediate time frame is sideways or uptrend. Okay. And in the equilibrium, you can go only short on the lower time frame supply if the trend is down. See, nothing doing in the sideways trend. And you can go long only in the equilibrium on the lower time frame zone when the trend is up. Okay. Now let us proceed. Okay, so once I mark this, Rohit, I said first only that when I was teaching odds and answer that you do not need to score odds and answers on the higher time frame and the intermediate time frame. You need to only score the odds and answers on your lower time frame. Okay, so let's go here and now let's go and have a look at the trend. So once I mark my curve, the second step is going and looking at the trend. So now I'm going for a daily income trade, right? Now I'm going for a daily income trade. So on what time frame I will look for my trend on? Still not clear with your time frames. You have not by hearted this. This is a daily income. Daily income trade. You mark your curve on the daily chart. Your lower time frame is 15 minutes, but your intermediate time frame is 75 minutes, not a 15 minutes. So you'll mark your trend or you'll assess the trend on the 75-minute chart. So I'll go on to the 75-minute chart. This is the 75-minute chart. Now what is the trend on the 75-minute chart? What is the trend? Down. Confused? Go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's your seventh candle. And that's your intersection of the vertical line and the 50 period simple moving average. So what's the trend now? It's pointing toward 3 and 6 and the color is red. So the trend is down. Okay, the trend is down. Now you go to the 15-minute chart and mark your supply zones. Okay, you go to the 15-minute chart and mark your supply zones. Okay, so how will you mark your supply zone? Start current market price, look left and up until you find origin of a strong drop in the price. So where do I see a strong drop in the price? I'll go up, 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 up. Is this a strong drop in the price? Is this a strong drop in the price? Yes or no? Yes, right? What about this candle? Basing candle, yeah, it's a gap down. Basing candle, what about this candle? Leg in, drop, base, drop. Now you can draw it wick to body or to wick because the wick to body will be very small. This is a continuation pattern. Yeah. Now you score the odds and answer. Okay, you score the odds and answer. What will be the odds and answer score for this zone? Freshness 3. What about the strength part? The price has left the zone with a gap. So the score will be 2. And what about the candle part? Time spread at the base. Again it will be 2. So this will be 7. Okay, 7. So hence, which type of entry? Yes. Proximal or type 1 entry. Okay, so this is the whole process of finding your trade. Now you can, so what is the problem? So what is the problem? This is a lower time frame supply and this is my higher time frame supply. From 220 to 207.80 is my higher time frame supply and 213.30 to 15 is your lower time frame. So you can just mark a demand zone over here which is fresh. Okay, so fresh demand zone. Let us mark. This is my demand zone over here because there's a gap over here. Okay, there's a gap over here. So That's why it's a rally. Okay, so if I put my entry over here, somewhere over here, just 10 paise below this, what will be the stop loss in this case? What will be the stop loss in this case? 2% of your daily ATR. So I'll click on this line, make stop loss 2%, save. Yes, so automatically it will adjust. Now this is my opposing level of demand. So if I put my target over here, this is too much of a target. Whether you can hold it. So it's giving around 13 to 1. Okay, 13 is to 1. So what you can do is you can just shift your target to a 3 is to 1 or a 2 is to 1 over here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So that's where you can take your trade, and this is the whole process of analyzing your trade. Okay, this is your whole process of analyzing your trade. Okay, you can put an alert in the system. You can take a 5 to 1 or 6 to 1. 204, where is 204? This 204, where is this a supply zone? Isn't this tested? It's tested. Okay, so that's your method of doing this. Did we do that? And one thing remember, okay, one thing I've shown you that Lakshmi in the very first session. Okay, third session, I think. One thing remember that people get confused. Once you put your lower time frame supply zone, you go on to the higher time frame supply zone again and see where is your zone on the curve. Because what people think is that people think the price. No, the price is not what you look for. When you say that whether you are low on the curve or high on the curve, it is the zone that you have to look for. It is the zone that you have to look for over here. It is the zone that you have to look for. I will show you because all the examples from now onwards will be done like this only. Neha. All the examples from now onwards will be done like this only. See, Venkatesh, if you are analyzing the trade yesterday, okay, the trend may be down, but tomorrow when the price is coming into the zone, the trend may be up. So you have to look for the trend when the price is coming into the zone. So that's what I'm telling you. It's not the price, it's the zone that will decide where are you, what is the location of the zone on the curve. The lower time frame zone will decide where are you located on the curve. Where are you, Pradeep? Are you closer to your higher time frame? This zone is closer to your higher time frame supply, or it is closer to your higher time frame demand? Higher time frame supply, right? Your zone is closer to your higher time frame supply. So that's the answer. You will be a seller. When your demand zone is low on the curve, that is the time you will buy. Let's suppose that when the price comes here, you have a supply zone over here. On the lower time frame, demand zone. But I cannot go short because I can't go shorts as for a simple reason, because I am into a wholesale pricing area, and in the wholesale pricing area, I don't go short. In a retail pricing area, I don't go long. So that will be low on the area. But right now, if the price comes to hit the supply zone, what will it do? Now let's suppose that the price comes here and hit the demand zone. What the trend? The trend is still down, right? And when the price comes here and hit this demand zone on the lower time frame demand zone, again the trend will be more down. So you cannot go long when the trend on the intermediate time frame is down. That is your answer. Yes. Okay. So what was the homework that I gave you? What was the homework that I gave you? Just dial 15 minutes trend. Okay. So if I'm analyzing my trend on just dial 15 minutes, what type of trade I'm trying to go for? Hourly income trade. And if my trade is hourly income, if my trade is hourly, where will I mark my zone on? 5 minutes. Okay. So just dial. Okay. This was the scenario. Okay. So let's first go to the 75-minute chart and mark our curve first. So whatever we have learned today, we'll apply that. So I will just go here and hide today's candle over here. So I need a demand zone which is fresh. Okay, let's go here and mark this as my curve now. Let's see if this, yeah, I've just gone to the higher time frame, 75 minutes. This is tested. So I need to go somewhere over here and mark my zone. Okay, and the supply I will mark over here. This is your higher time frame supply. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take this retracement tool over here and divide this curve into 3 sections, from the proximal line of supply to the proximal line of demand. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll go to a 15-minute chart to check the trend. So what was the trend? What was the trend? Down on the 15-minute chart. Okay, now I'll go to a 5-minute chart and mark one supply and one demand. So this is one demand, supply, and let's mark a demand, a fresh demand, which seems to be over here. Now this is a 5-minute chart only. Okay, now you go to again a higher time frame chart and see where are this demand and supply zones located on the 5-minute chart. So where is the supply zone located? Where is the supply zone located? High on the curve. Where is the demand zone located? Equilibrium. Okay, equilibrium. Now, what is my trend? Trend is down. Trend is down. Trend is down. So what should I be doing? Is going long suitable in the equilibrium when the trend is down, or going short suitable when the trend is down when you are high on the curve? We'll go short, right? That's what our decision matrix tells us. Okay, that's what our decision matrix tells us. So I'll go to a 5-minute chart. Now, so now let's score the odds and answer. Okay, what is the odds and answer score for? What will be the odds and answer score for this zone? 7, 3 for freshness, 2 for the strength part, 2 consecutive red candles, and then 2 for the candles in the base, because there is only one candle in the base. So this is equal to 7. Hence, T1 entry or proximal entry. Okay. Now if I place my entry, let's place an entry somewhere over here. What will be the stop loss in this case? %. Okay. 2%. And if you see over here, this could be a target which is giving you more than 8:1. So I don't want an 8:1. Let's suppose I settle it for a 2:1. Okay, so let's go here for a 2:1. Okay, now this was fresh. The prices came here in the morning, hit the supply, gave a 2:1, and then the second time when the price came to the supply, it broke. Okay, in fact, I think it has given a 3:1. Yeah, it has given a 3:1. So did you understand the process now? Just dial whatever we have covered till now. It's automatically set. That is set by it's from the system. I don't know why it's not coming. It should come. Check with your mentor. Check with your mentor. Yeah, go on, Rosario. What's your question? Yeah, we mark the zones after the... See, target line will be on the opposing level of demand. So this was the opposing level of demand, or you set a mechanical target of a 2:1 or a 3:1. So this was 2:1. If you need 3:1, you can do that. See, now this supply zone is a supply zone, but why are you selecting a supply zone which is not closer to your current market price, which is farther from your current market price? Also, the score for this will be 7 only, but so I will be marking from the current market price. Yesterday, this was the close, now. This is where the price closed yesterday. So I have to start from the current market price and look up. Simple. I have to look down for my current market price for a demand zone. This supply zone, is this explosive? Which is the level that is screaming at you? Is this level screaming at you, or is this level screaming at you? The marking would have been the same, even if you did it yesterday. Yesterday, this was the current market price, right? The price closed over here. The price closed over here, right? The price closed over here. So I have started from this and went on to mark this as my supply zone. So this is also explosive, right? I told you 2 candles, explosive. See how the price has come down. Check it. Check it. That's how your eyes should be trained. Kavita. Yes, Rohit. So that's what I marked. Come on, I have marked this supply zone and told you that this is the supply zone that is closer to your current market price, where the current market price closed yesterday. So this is what you could look for, not this. There might be a supply zone. So there is also a supply zone over here. So why not this then? There is a supply here. Why not this? Why only this? Why not this then? See, whether it's a gap down, what is the odds and answer score for the zone? You tell me. These are all leg candles. So isn't this explosive move? Why are we scoring 2 for when the price has left the zone with a gap, or 2 consecutive red leg candles for your supply zone, or 2 consecutive green candle for your demand zones? And it has worked. It has worked well. It has given a 3:1. Okay, so always remember that you mark your supply zone closer to your current market price. Now there could be something like this, there could be something like this, there could be something like this, that there could be something like this, that this score, this the score for this zone, let's suppose there were the score for this zone was only 6 and the above score was 7, then you could be a little bit conservative and say that I did not want to go for this zone because the odds and answer score was 6 and I wanted to go only with a zone which had odds and answer 7. Now here both the odds and answer score is 7, here also, here also. So you could go for the zone because it may happen that the price may not come here. It will react to the supply zone. Now the price is retracing back, but it might have retraced here and then gone down. Who told you to mark it today? I told you to mark it yesterday. See, you are again confused. You are taking as per your convenience. When I say that you have to mark your zone as per the close yesterday, then you have to mark your zone as per yesterday only. See, this I have, Alan, I have answered this a lot many times. Okay, still I don't know why it's not clear. This is a 90-day chart. 90-day means 90 days history. You get a 90-day history over here. Simple. If it's a 30-day chart, you will get a 30 days history. The history is less, but the candles will be for one day. So you'll mark on a 5-minute chart now. I told you to analyze the trend on the 15-minute chart. So how can you mark on a 15-minute zone? The zone on the 15-minute? Gaurav, a simple thing, why don't you people understand this? That I am analyzing the trade when the market closed yesterday. Now, let's suppose that you come to live trading. Okay, you come to live trading after the 20 sessions. Then, if you come today in the morning and analyze this, so you have to analyze this with the starting point only, where the market had opened. So in the live trading you can do that, but if in the live trading, let's suppose I'm a set it and forget it trader, so still this is the supply zone that you could mark. That's the target. So if you once I do bracket order, once you put this entry, stop loss and target, Kavita, automatically your trade will be squared off once the price hit the target or the stop loss. It's possible to another example. Yes, Aital, don't worry. We will do lots of example. Don't worry about that. What I want you all to do is make your concepts clear. And the thing is, in spite of repeating this 90 days, what is the difference, guys? You don't understand, then that is very simple. So you have to go and make it understand. If you don't understand, if you have any problem, ask your mentor. He will also help you out in that. If you have any query. Please don't let your query get unresolved, because right now we have finished the theory, but if you are not clear with the previous concept, then it will be difficult for you. Have to choose supply zone from where we can get more entry or confirm entry. Yeah, so see, this is where the price is closed. So which is the price? Which is the price that I? Which is the where is will the let's take this a speed breaker. Okay, you are coming with a car. So which is the first speed breaker you will encounter? Whether this or this? Whether this or this? Ravinder, you need to confirm the trend when the price is coming into the zone. You have to do that. Okay? Gaurav, please, right now concentrate here. You please call the mentor, but right now please concentrate here. Okay? Any doubts related to somebody was telling? Let me just go here on the daily chart. Okay, so, 75-minute chart. Somebody was telling that he has some from. Where did I go from the 75-minute chart? Yeah, this is my 75-minute chart. Now you might have put your answer why we are only selecting the zone for the only for the first time, because this violated the zone when the price came here in for the second time. This is a good example which is in front of you. Doubts, come on, or I'll go to the next Ramco Cement. Yeah, please go and read my notes also. Don't worry, Pradeep, we will cover lots of example. Okay, let's go to Ramco Cement. Ramco Cement, what was the homework on Ramco Cement? Two entry line cannot be plotted on the same chart. That's true. 75 minutes trend. So if I'm analyzing my trend on the 75-minute chart, what type of trade I'm trying to go for? Daily income trade, right? Daily income trade. So the trend was down and I am going for a daily income trade. So let's go here on the daily chart first and mark my supply zone. So this is your rally base drop. I'm marking my supply over here and let's mark the demand. So demand is too far away right now. I have to go and mark my demand below this. So where will be my demand be? Okay, let's take this as a demand. In live market, we take only that candle which already formed. Yes. Unless and until that is formed, how will you mark your demand or supply? Okay, so let's go here and I've marked my curve. Now the problem with the curve here will be that on the lower time frame you will not get the history because the history is only for 90 days. Okay, the history is only for 90 days. So now this is your demand zone, that's your supply. So on the 75-minute chart, you will not be able to see the zone. See, because your history is the supply, this demand zone is formed 2 way back. Okay, it's formed. If I go again to the daily chart, can you see it's formed around 7th April 2016? So intraday में इतनी history होती नहीं. In intraday you don't have that much history. History is only for 90 days. Okay, so on the 90 days you are not getting a demand zone. So let's go here and on the 75-minute chart, what's the trend? The trend is down. Okay, so I'll go on a 15-minute chart. I will just hide today's candle. I'll hide today's candle and I'll start from this part. Okay, start with the current market price, look left and down until you find origin of a strong drop in the price. So I need to find a supply which is above this line. Otherwise, I'll be cutting through candles. Okay, cutting through candles. Again, I go over here. Okay, I do find a supply over here. Drop, base, drop. Okay, drop, base, drop. Now drop, base, drop. This is your supply. Where the setting of trend come into picture? Setting from the 7th candle. Yes, go and look at my session on I think odds and answers, where I covered the trend. You have to follow the same process. 550 to 554. Where is 550 to 554? 550. I don't see a zone at 550 to 554. Oh, come on, Rishikesh, you go here and I have directly marked the trend. What is the trend over here? Even if I go and mark this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if this is your 7th candle and if this is your intersection, what is the trend now? This can be clearly seen with a naked eye that the trend is down. Okay. So Madhuri, what's your doubt? On a 15 minutes, your zone is from 552. If you're marked it maybe a wick to wick, then it could be like this. 550 to 556. 563 is too much up. Okay, this is your, don't you see this? This is a good supply zone. Oh, you mark it wick to wick or you mark it wick to body. Yeah. Now what will be the odds and answer score for this zone? Let's mark it wick to body. Seven. 3 for freshness. 2 for the strength. And 2 for your time spent at the base, which is equal to 7. Hence, P1 or proximal entry, right? Right? Now, if I put my entry over here, somewhere over here, just below this proximal line, stop loss at this price. What will be the stop loss in this case? 2% of daily ATR. Since this is your daily income trade, yes, so this will be 2% of daily ATR. Now, I see for my opposing level of demand. So yesterday, where was my opposing level of demand? This was my opposing level of demand. So am I getting more than 3:1 at this level? If I set this target line, am I getting more than 3:1? Can you see it 7:1 over here? Yeah. So if you cannot hold it, you can just go for a 3:1 price hits this zone or a 2:1. Whatever you are comfortable in. In intraday, 2 is also a good reward to risk. Okay. In intraday, 2:1 is also a good RR. If you get 2:1 or more than 2:1, that's good. So this is the whole process of analyzing a trade. And those trade that we have analyzed, this trade, Ramco Cement, put an alert and see when the price comes to a zone, whether this zone works or not. Oh, come on, Ashu. We are doing this as per yesterday only. This is not per as today. This is we are doing as per yesterday. So I have to mark my demand zone as per yesterday only. How will I mark my demand? I gave you homework yesterday, but I will do the analysis as per today. How can I do that? Because your analysis will go wrong then. If I would have done as per yesterday on the previous chart, I think it was, what was the trade before that we discussed? Just dial. Okay, then just dial, this would have been a violet zone. That would not have been a zone which has worked. It should be close to a current price, and also it should be a drop, a strong drop or a strong rally. Because if it's not a strong drop in a strong, it's not a strong rally, then it might not work. The zone might not work. The zone might not work. As I told you that the demand, the price will turn demand or a supply, but every demand and supply will not turn price. This was your opposing level of demand as per yesterday. As per yesterday, this was your opposing level of demand, around 510. Because this was the closest demand, na? This was the closest fresh demand zone that we had encountered. All this demand zone was tested and taken off. So first what you have to do is you have to mark your curve. Cannot see the chart you are marking? Can you guys see my chart? Everybody? This is your opposing level. Have I not marked this as a demand zone? Everybody can see this? This is your opposing level of demand. After everything, the curve analysis, the zone analysis, and the trend analysis. Yes, it is not coming here. It's not marked. It's marked on the daily chart, but it's not coming over here. Venkatesh, please go and have a look at my. What if it will be close to this value? If I show you close to this value, guys, pay a very good attention over here. Let me go here. Let me clear the doubt. I know what mistake you are making. And I told you clearly yesterday. So let's go to Ramco Cement. What is the daily? What is this? Ramco Cement daily. Yeah, it's around 4 rupees. Okay, this is ATR for your Ramco Cement. It's it's showing you around 33 rupees. And what's the daily ATR showing here? It's showing 29, right? Let me see the ATR value. So there will be some differences. Okay, I don't know why is this difference coming. You said it's 3.3. It's not 3 point. It's 33 over here. If you look at this, it's 33. Okay, 33.8. It's not 3.54. So the 2% for this will be around 1% will be 3.3 and around 1.5, 1.6. That will be a 2%. But you don't have to look at the 15-minute chart. That's what I told you. ATR is the value on the daily chart. This is the mistake that you are making. This is the mistake that you are making. I did tell you, guys, please pay a full attention on whatever I say. This was clear yesterday that when you look at the ATR chart or the ATR tool on, let's suppose your trading view, or let's suppose you don't have the daily ATR tool in your Trade Tiger. So whenever you look at ATR, please make it a point to look at the daily chart. Look at the daily chart. I also specified that every time frame will have a different ATR value. The ATR value for different time frame will be different, but we have to look at the ATR value of the daily chart. Now here in Trade Tiger, we have made a tool which is giving you the daily ATR. Which is giving you the daily ATR. Okay, it's giving you the daily ATR. Similarly, if I go for this study, I'll go for ATR tool. See the ATR tool. The ATR tool will give you the value of this candle. Here also it's giving it 3.78. 3.78. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to look at the daily chart. The ATR value should be look at the daily chart. So daily chart here is 29.56. It's constantly showing 20. So ATR might be, they might be taking a different average days. Here we are taking 14 days. I don't know how much days this trading view takes. It's also take 14 days. So it should not be that much different, but it's a 3 rupees different, right? Generally, if you look at any of the charts, it's not that much of a difference. Here we are only making trades when they reach demand zones. A lot of candles, if we use, you see, don't go into demand zones. How to do this trade? So Gaurav, clear very one thing. There is no shortcut to trading. Okay, you have to do this analysis on at least maybe a 50 chart to get 3 to 4 trades. And on that 3 to 4 trades the day you get, you might only find entry into 2 trades a day. Okay, so it's not that if you look at the trade and analyze one script, you will get an entry and there should be compulsion entry in that trade. No, you have to analyze. Now, my eyes are trained now. So whatever demand zone I gave you yesterday and whatever supply zone that I gave you yesterday and the demand zone that I gave you day before yesterday, that worked. I think Maruti worked and one more trade worked. It came to the demand zone and it worked. Okay, so that my eyes are a little bit trained now. Okay, so it will require some time for you to spend on the charts, and then you can also come to that to that position. But before, you have to put some hard work. How to identify trades? Go here, go to big trade list. This is the number one stock in your big trade list. Do the whole process in ACC. Not find a trade, go here, double click Adani Enterprises, do the whole analysis till you finish this 150. Or if not, at least do this on Nifty 50. And there is a process, there is a session on scanning, okay, in which I'll tell you something, how you can scan that. See, it's here on next Wednesday. For the time being, you have to do it manually. Sir, cure in word HTF. Manoj, I didn't get your question. Curve in one word higher time frame. No, still not. I did not get your question. Curve and higher time frame is the same. So your homework for tomorrow is so that's what I'm telling you. That will take some time, Gaurav. Yeah, Monday. We don't have a session tomorrow, huh? We don't have a session tomorrow. So now I hope you understand why I've given you 2 holidays over here. Why I have given you 2 holidays over here. So go and look at curve, entry types and exit rules, and odds and answers if you want, and even multi frames. Recording for today's session is very important. What do you want me to repeat, Rishikesh? The whole session? I can't do that right now. But if you have any difficulties, assignment I've not given you. I've not given you the assignment right now. Chakrapani, Hare, you are the scholar. I thought you might have got around 90%. That's a failure on my part, not on your part. If I have not been able to make you understand 100%. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah, I'll show you that. I'll show you that. So this is the decision matrix. Okay, but it will be good if you follow, if you follow the decision matrix that I gave you on the chart. See, unless and until the move is made, Gaurav, how can we say it's going to go up, it's going to go up? Generally, the trend might be up, so it might go up. But if the trend is down, it might go down. But you cannot predict. You cannot put your entry line for both demand zone and Ashu. I think I answered this question. Even Swapnil answered this question for you. That you cannot put two entry on the same time frame. You can put an entry line on a daily chart of Ramco Cement and a 75-minute chart of a Ramco Cement. But you cannot put two entry lines on the Ramco Cement 75-minute chart. So you need to look at the recordings, Prasanna. Okay, let's go here. So right now the stock is moving up. Okay, if I go here, hold on Pradeep to your question. That is still coming. You first, why do you want to see why do you want to call the mentor? First you see, guys. You first see it, and if you don't get it, then there is mentor and I will come and by the, on Monday there is a revision session. So we will cover this. Yeah, practice is a must. If you don't practice, you will not get it. If you don't practice, you will not get it. You will not get it if you don't practice, guys. Yeah, homework is there, definitely, Vivek. Homework will be there. How can I leave you without homework? There are 2 days holidays and you need to practice. Okay, somebody wants to go with this. Everybody has taken this screenshot for this, what I have written over here. If somebody wants to take the screenshot, please take it. You cannot add more than one target line, but you definitely can have 2 targets. I will show you that when we go to bracket orders. Rajiv, even if I give 2 homework, you can do the rest, because what happens is there is a lot of people. There are a lot of people in this room. There are a lot of people in this room. So even if we do 2 homework, see, it's already 10 minutes up for the session. Okay, so you guys practice a lot. I will at least do 2 examples every day, 2 to 3 examples every day. Sahil, it has been saved. Right now, if I don't delete this, even if I come and log in for the next time, it will be there. But if I give you homework, then I should also do the same homework in the class. Otherwise, how will you understand? For Trade Tiger, see my session. I've already shown this setting. Now, guys, you are not paying attention now. I did show you this setting, this chart data. Just disable this. You cannot assess, Aithal. You cannot assess this. Don't be eager, Rutuja, to do that. I know. This is the same happened with me when I started trading. And the result was, bad, very bad. So the homework for tomorrow is go to ICICI Prudential Life. After the closing of today's candle, do an early income trade on ICICI Bank, ICICI Prudential Life. Okay, early income plan and early income trade on ICICI Prudential Life. Everything. Okay, the curve, the zone, the trend, put your odds and answers, what type of entry you are going to take, put your entry, stop loss and target and tell me. Don't do that, Chakrapani. Don't do that. Early income trade, Drupad, it's early income trade. Okay, if you burn your hands, if you are trading right now, don't blame me, neither the mentor Swapnil. Because we are telling you not to trade. Very important. Curve is not important, curve is very important. Everything that I told you is very important. Even the trend is important. Trend, go with the trend. ICICI Prudential early income trade, Rishikesh. ICICI Prudential Life. Early income trade. Plan an early income trade on ICICI Prudential Life. And the next trade is after the close of the market today. Huh? Do an early income trade on HDFC Life. Early income trade on HDFC Life. HDFC Life. HDFC Life and ICICI Prudential Life. Early income trade. Do that. Yeah. And everybody should be ready, right? As I said that you should behave like a casino owner or you should behave like an institution. They also have losses, but the losses are less and the profits are more. Okay, now the thing that is left is all the theory part is complete over here. Okay, the thing that is left is risk management, position sizing, stock sizing, bracket orders, action plan for daily, weekly, and monthly income trade, and then trading and analysis, live market session. No, Raj Krishna, that is altogether a different class. That is the most advanced class that we have right now here in India. Okay, I'll talk about it uh, in the last session. Okay, so let's take now. I have again, uh, taken more 12 minutes. It was told I don't handle time very perfectly. Okay, so maybe so. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session and also understood it. Okay, please go through my notes. Please go through the recordings. Very important. Very important is that you go through the recordings. Okay. Thank you, Malvia. Thank you, Rohan Singh. Thank you, Shilpi. Thank you, everybody, guys. Okay. So I hope you guys will not let me down. And I know that your week is a little bit screwed up because you need to look at the recordings. Uh, but I will enjoy my week. I'll sleep. Okay. So, yeah, don't worry. Uh, the thing is that I have also to plan my trades for the next week as well. So I may be planning some trades also. So go through the sessions, Rishikesh. I will tell you on maybe the action plan day, action plan for daily income trade. Yes, Puneet, and I feel that you all guys will also be in the shadow someday. I'll be very happy that if you come up with a mail saying that, Fahim, now I have started making decent money in my trading, and now you know that this is my full-time profession. I would love to hear this from you guys. No, it's not like that. Daily trade can be planned after the closing of the daily candle. Yes, I have full confidence in you guys. Okay, only if you work hard and you have patience. Okay, I'll show you on the last day. I'll show you some students' mail also. Some of my students' mail. Okay, that will boost your confidence. Yeah, I'm there to wait you. I'm there to guide you. Okay, I'm there to guide you. Don't worry. Yeah, I will on the last day. I will show you one or two mails which will be motivational and one or two mails which are demotivational. But that is not demotivational because they have not followed rules. That's why they are in that place. That's exactly the same thing. I'll tell you, Harish, don't worry. I will tell you here on next Friday, maybe next Friday, or maybe on the revision session. Yes, Prasanna, I will be in your live trading mentor session now. I will be there in your live mentor sessions. So I will not leave you. It's not that we are leaving you. For yeah, 1 year we are with us, right? So that's like a caution that you should be very disciplined and patient in your trading. If you don't follow rules, you are going to lose money. You're going to burn your accounts. You're going to burn your hands and you're going to blow off your account. Okay, so enjoy your weekend, as also do some hard work, guys, as also do some hard work. I don't think you can go to Bangalore office for trading person now. Okay, but if you have any doubts, you can just talk with your EC, and they will be the better person to talk to you, to let you know about that, or talk to your mentor. Okay, so take care. Bye. Have a nice day, guys, or have a nice weekend too.